so Fxckitup. Oh no, scary F word. I have mixed feelings on this track. When I saw Pierce's name in here, I really wasn't expecting much. And obviously we did not get very much. The highlight of the track really has to be the rock influenced off drop sections. Those guitars are pretty rad. The build also isn't too bad either. Drop on the other hand is very cookie cutter. Dare I say pee pee poo poo. It's just a pretty generic, relatively overused drop format in dubstep nowadays, so it really relies on its sound design, which really doesn't help because it's not good. I guess this track kind of reminds me of Wallmonger, where it could have been good, but it just isn't. On a positive note though, I do really enjoy the percussion. It's classic Ivory, it's fat old snare. But overall, I'd probably just give this track a 6.8 out of 10. There's really no reason to ever come back to this track. It's nothing special, but it's far from horrible. I mean, the idea is there, the execution is somewhat okay, but frankly, it's really not that enjoyable of a track. Dead Space is definitely a step up from Frick Your Mom. You can definitely tell the stronger Ivory influence since the sound design sounds nice. The drop structure's nice. It is pretty generic, but at least the sound design makes up for that a little bit. The percussion is as good as ever. It actually has made my pee-pee. I'd probably give this track a 7.9 out of 10. The intro's good, the build's nice, and the drop, while a little bit generic, is good enough for me. It gets the job done. Overall, a very good track. I wouldn't be doing backflips and jumping off planes to hear this one again, but it's a solid track. I wouldn't be disappointed if I was forced to listen to this again.
3, 2,
Alien Call.
Alien Call is like nothing we've ever heard from Ivory before. This track focuses much more on thin layered, intricate, clean sound design. The percussion's very thin, very trap like. Sounds in the drop are very glitchy, very alien like, I guess you could say, hinting the name Alien Call. But yeah, this track reminds me a lot of one of the tracks off of Al5 and Prismatic's Disciple Roundtable EP. I can't remember the name of it. I saw some people making comparisons with this track to Daw by Space Laces, which I didn't understand because I don't really think this sounds anything like Daw. I even saw like a handful of people giving hate to Alien Call because it somewhat sounded like Daw.
Ivory is actually copying Space Laces. This sounds just like Daw by Space Laces. If you cannot tell, the sound design is only just a little bit familiar, but obviously it's a carbon copy. Ivory should just quit music and absolutely kill himself with a sack of garbage.
Yeah, I mean, I'd probably give this track a 8.5 out of 10. I enjoy it a good bit. Would I religiously listen to it? No, definitely not, but I do think it's a really cool track with some really cool ideas. Big props to Ivory for expanding into some new territory and accomplishing his idea, because I thought he did a pretty good job here. I really enjoy this track.
y'all got the game fucked up.
So now we have arrived at the two Big Daddy tracks. I'm just gonna call this one the Elon Musk track because I forgot how you pronounce this name. A12. Like how do you even pronounce that? I have no idea how I would pronounce that. I heard someone said it stands for Michael, which, if that's actually true, that is so AIDS. Anyways, enough rambling. The Elon Musk track is absolutely insane. The power French combo of Ivory and Samplifire returned once again after they dropped their Termination EP a year ago, I think. The highlight of this track really has to be the drop. I mean, the sound design, the flow, everything is absolutely insane. And don't even get me started on that ridiculous percussion. That snare is so disgusting. It brings so much impact to the drop, brings so much personality, and I absolutely love it. The second drop is alright. It definitely isn't as good as the first drop, but it's enjoyable enough. It's not bad. I don't think it takes away from the track. Overall, I'd give this track a 9.7 out of 10. Easily one of the heaviest tracks I've heard in a while, and without a doubt, one of the best flows I've heard in a while. Huge props to these two. I think they absolutely outdid themselves and dropped an absolute banger. Really enjoyed this one.
Distortion.
Oh my god, where do I even begin? This track is ridiculously good. Easily one of Ivory's best tracks in a long time. I'd probably say since Vengeance, which is still one of my favorite dubstep tracks to date. So,
Pat on the back, buddy.
the first drop in this track is absolutely absurd. The mixture in metallic and just overall girthy sound design is absolutely beautiful. I love the snare in this drop. As always, Ivory's snares are quite splendid. The real highlight for this track, though, in my opinion, is that second drop. The second and fourth drop. Yes, there are 4 drops in this track. The flow is just absolutely unbelievable. The amount of energy conveyed in that drop, I can't explain it. Overall, I just have to give this track a 10 out of 10. I've always been a huge fan of Ivory's dubstep, so I do have a little bit of bias because he has a lot of charm in his tracks. But yeah, I mean, Ivory just really outdid himself with this EP. Even if it's kind of carried by its top 2 tracks, overall, I think this was a very enjoyable EP. And I do want to give you guys a big thank you for watching this video. It's a little different from my other stuff, but I hope you guys enjoyed.